Hello, beautiful souls. It is Coach D on this Monday afternoon at 3:04 p.m. on the good old East Coast of the United States. Welcome to all of you who are tuning in. I have not been on live or done a video for a while, and I was just working on some stuff and thinking, and I thought, hey, this is a great time to come and do, even though it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we can still do coffee with Coach D. And I've got my mushroom coffee. I got one of my favorite mugs. It says, I may be wrong, but I doubt it. And anyone who knows me knows what that means. Let's take a look and see what's happening. Okay, what do I want to talk about this afternoon? Let me tell you. Take a sip of that good old mushroom coffee. I drink Rise, R-Y-Z-E. That's the brand that I choose to get my mushroom coffee through. I'm not promoting them. I have no affiliation with them outside of drinking their good mushroom coffee, but I did want to share that with you. It is a great way to have a wonderful energy elevation just when you need it. So I wanted some this afternoon just to keep my perkiness going. Well, today, let me tell you what's on Coach D's mind. I have been and have had the privilege of talking to some wonderful women lately. And today, in fact, I actually had an opportunity to reconnect with 2 women who, when I was out there traveling in my career full-time as a consultant and traveling all over the United States, I had the honor to meet I met a lot of fabulous people. Yet today I got to talk to 2 of my favorite people that I got to know and spend a lot of time with when I was out there. So we were talking about some things, and it made me think about other conversations I've had with other women of late. And I thought, you know what? When I do the live, I'll just share a bit. This really is to encourage. Let me take another sip of my coffee. I'd rather have it while it's hot. So, I wanted to take a moment just to encourage some of you beautiful souls out there. Life is challenging. Life can be hard at times. Life can also at times seem like, what is going on and what am I going to do? I totally get that, because each and every one of us are human. We're human beings. Do you hear that? We are human beings. And being human, we have a complex making. There is so much to us being human. We've got our physical, we've got the spiritual, our soul, our mind, we've got emotions. There is so much about being a human that is complex. And at the end of the day, there are some things that us being humans make us similar. So, even though I might not be walking in the shoes that you're wearing right now, meaning what's happening in your life right now may not be what's happening in mine at this time, yet the one thing we as humans should be able to agree on is that we have similarity. And in being similar, we can honestly understand a lot of what's going on with others. So what I mean, or a little deeper, when you see other people in public, when you see other people at work, when you see the people in your own household, it is important to remember that every single one of us has something going on. Every single one of us is dealing with something in this life. Whether we're dealing with things within our household, with our family, with our loved ones, whether we're dealing with things in our community, with our neighbors, or dealing with things at work where you spend most of your waking hours. We are all dealing with something. There are positives in our lives and there are negatives. So when you see one another, remember that as we greet one another, that I'm not the only one. I have to remember there are others. And I want to encourage each of us, whatever we have going on, know that you're not alone. There are others who are going through it similarly. And it helps to connect. It helps to connect and have support from others. Relationships are important. And you all, if y'all keep seeing me messing with Cherie, my hair, those of you who know me, her name is Cherie, as well as my AI, her name is Cherie, because my middle name is Cherise. So I love the name Cherie. And just so you know, those of you who know, I flow. So I am a Sagittarius, a December Sag, and I am true to it. And I am a woman of 57 fabulous years. So I have earned the opportunity to be able to flow, which means I could be sipping my coffee in a moment, telling you about the weather outside, or I could be talking about and wanting to encourage you not to give up. So just flow with me, all right? I'm just putting it out there for anyone who's new, who watches this. We are all going through things, and we have to encourage one another. You cannot forget about one another. You can't forget to say, hey, how are you? And mean it genuinely, and pause to hear and to look and see. So often we're carrying weights that we haven't told anybody about. I know that's me. Hey, at times, baby, I've got weights on me, and there are people in my life, they have no clue what's going on. One, because like many of you, I don't want to put my burdens on anyone else. Yet at the same time, I have to remember, if you don't talk about it, no one will know. And if you're like me, people don't generally call me. People don't usually, text me and say, hey, I'm checking up on you, because they assume my bubbliness, my positivity, the way I show up with a smile. They assume, oh, Dina's doing great. So if anything, they reach out when they have a need, but they forget to say, hey, let me check on her. And I don't mean, I mean genuine checkup. I mean genuinely being involved, not being nosy to be in someone's business, but really saying, how can I show up for them? What can I do for them? And that doesn't happen often. So if you are like me and similar, thank you, cuz. I see who's in here. Oh, one of my cousins is in here from Jersey. Yes, cuz, 57 and 58 come this December. And looking like my mama, Mary Langford, who is gone on to be with the ancestors. But God knows, every time I look in the mirror, I go, Mama, I look like you. I look like her and miss her. And so I'm glad to honor my mama by looking like her and loving it. So thank you, cuz, for that. With what I was saying, we can have things going on and be lifing, and we forget to pause and check on others, to genuinely pick up the phone, I know we love texting, and I like a text message, believe me. Sometimes, though, you got to pick up the phone and just call. Leave a nice message if you get their voicemail. And when the person reaches out, just to ask them, take the time and say, hey, I just wanted to call and spend a few minutes and see how you're doing, really. Do you need anything? Is there anything I can be praying about for you? There are a lot of people out there who have lost jobs, who are looking for work. And that is a big passion of mine, is to talk to people and help, to share free resources and to share, my services as well. I have a business. My business, after 30 plus years in corporate America, last year, August of last year, I revamped a business that I had that I allowed just to fall to the wayside because I was working full-time in corporate America and so busy. I know you all can relate. Life is busy. Work is busy. So trying to take on additional things, my business took a back burner. Okay, it was just in the stay warm drawer. If you imagine cooking, it wasn't even on the stove. So last year I actually said, Dina, you've got to reimagine this business, because after 30 some years in corporate America, June of 2024, June 30th exactly of 2024 was my last day that I worked in corporate America. Not because I was ready to retire, not because I had won the lottery, not because, oh my gosh, she was handed a fabulous, profitable business, or she inherited a nice estate and she doesn't need to work anymore. It wasn't any of that. It was literally burnout. I had spent 4 months on medical leave because of burnout. And what burnout for me looked like was years of working, years of never taking a break, having my daughter when I did, and how we go on maternity leave. I think I was on maternity leave 6 or 8 weeks back in 1992. So never taking time off, having a sabbatical, even between work, between jobs, not taking time off, saying, oh, let me take a month off before I go back to work. I know I am talking to the choir. I know those of you who watch this video understand this and can relate. And if you are a Black woman in the United States, I know you can relate, because me being a Black woman, there are things we go through and incur because we happen to be Black in the United States. Well, after resigning from my position, I knew at that time, Dina, you don't have a plan for what's next. I didn't. Only thing I knew was my health. And I said to myself, I am not going to lose Dina because of work. I did not in any way, any form, have a huge amount saved. I had some money saved. I had put some money away. Yet my plan for retirement still, when I left, wasn't supposed to happen for another 6 to 8 years. And so I walked away without a plan. Walked away knowing you've got to heal. You have got to take care of you. You have got to trust and have faith. That part. See, God did not give me the plan. He did not, send a check in the mail that said, oh yeah, I can leave work. I had to step out on faith. And I still am. Every day showing up, being faithful. On those days that is not easy, because I'm not even getting ready to tell you or act like, y'all, it is easy when I left corporate America and revamped my business. No, it is not. Do I love and enjoy what I'm doing now? Yes, I do. Am I trusting that it is going to take off and all of a sudden I'm going to have to hire on staff to help me? Yes, that's what I'm believing for. Am I doing the work? Yes, I'm doing the work. Yet, in all of that, I still realize there are a lot of people, a lot of women, Dina, who are searching for their what's next. They may have found themselves where they've lost a job, and it's what's next? How do I get through? I've been talking to a lot of people in that situation lately. I've worked with some folks who have hired me to revamp and optimize their resume and their profile, their professional profile out there on LinkedIn. So people have hired my services for that. If you want more information, I will tell you, go to my website. You'll see all the services I offer. Feel free to either schedule a discovery call with me or reach out and send me a message and let's talk further. I'm putting on some lip gloss. And this is actually not lip gloss. It's lip oil. It is by a company on TikTok. A young lady, a young black lady owns it, started it. It is by Boss Up Cosmetics. And you can catch them on TikTok. Boss Up Cosmetics. And she makes a wonderful lip oil. It's a lip oil, so it feels good on your lips. Okay. So the resumes, the folks that I've been working with lately, the reason why they worked with me on the resume, yes, could they have gone on Word and updated their resume? Of course they could. Yet what they shared and what I know to be the challenge is your resume is going through AI, artificial intelligence. It's going through systems, application tracking system, or ATS as it's known. And it's going through these systems before it ever gets before a human, before a recruiter ever sees you. So unless you know someone that in that company that's hiring, whether it's a manager or another team person or the recruiter directly that you can get your resume before, understand when you are applying for work nowadays, more times than not, it is running through a system that is looking for keywords, phrasing to help run through the hundreds, even sometimes thousands of applications that may be presented to the actual company that's hiring. So yes, it makes sense that you allow AI to, scrub and get down to the resumes that you want to look at human eyes, and then it still goes through another scrub because now a human being's looking at it. So with all that being said, it's hard. It is hard for those who are looking for the next job. I've heard it. I've heard from the clients who I've worked with. I've heard from other friends and people I know who are out there looking, and they have the skills. They have the experience. Oh boy, let me say that. For those of you who have tons of experience like myself, who spent nearly 35 years, I actually think it was 35 years in the healthcare sector. When you say that to someone, and if it's someone that's hiring and they see that on your resume or they see that in an interview, immediately before even the interview, and they know you've had that much experience, what does that say automatically? It says she's got to be in her 50s at least, because if she graduated high school, went to college, and came out of college in her early 20s, and she's done 35 years in corporate America, I'm telling them my age. I love my years of experience. I love my knowledge. I love the wealth of information I have in my brain. Yet I realize if I were to go and apply to a job, I would need to revamp my resume and not show 30 years worth of experience, unless that particular job wanted that. So that's another thing people are hitting up against. People are hitting walls when they're sending resumes out here on job posts, and they're like, no, I'm not even getting any contact. No one's reaching out. And they have the experience. This is the work they did for years. They know how to do this in their sleep. It's like breathing for them. But they don't get a phone call. They don't get an email, nothing to say, hey, we want to talk to you. So what happens is folks get discouraged. Think about that. You're applying. Why are you applying? Because you need income. So you're applying for jobs. You start with jobs you know, oh, I can do this. This is my experience. You're applying to those, not hearing anything. It's crickets. Then you start applying for jobs that you're like, oh, I'm overqualified for. I know it, but I want to go to work. I want to have income and meaningful work. So you still don't hear anything. Or if you hear something, you hear, oh, you're overqualified, as if you didn't know that when you were applying. So then they don't want to consider you because they think, oh, you're just looking for income. So you'll be with us until you find the next thing that you're qualified for. So people hit walls there. I'm just right now, you all, I'm just talking about things that come up. And right now, this is a big thing that I keep hearing over and over again. So I'm going to tell you this, and excuse me doing the transitions and everything, but I'm just being totally comfortable right now in my speech. Go to LinkedIn or go to my webpage, even better. Go to my webpage, dinalangford.biz. Go to my blogs, which is on my homepage, scroll to the bottom. And I actually released a blog this afternoon, and I posted it out on LinkedIn already. I'll put it out on Facebook and Instagram, places like that. The blog is titled, When God Closes a Door, Build a Business. When God closes a door, build a business. Now, you may be wondering, Dina, why would you say that? You know, people need income. Yes. But when God closes a door and you were working for a company, why not pause just for a moment and think, what does this mean? Do I need to apply to the next company and get a job, J-O-B, just above broke? That's what job stands for, because you never get rich working a job. You don't build wealth working a job. It is a false security that rug gets pulled out when the job needs to let you go. Okay, so it doesn't matter how wonderful and fabulous you may be at the job. The job is designed for you to produce and to give way more than what they're paying for. That's why so many people get dissatisfied and say, you know, I'm working and I should be making more money. I'm doing so much more at my workplace and I'm not getting paid for it. That's a job. So my article, When God Closes a Door, Build a Business. I am an advocate. I am a cheerleader for women who want to start businesses. Now, men, you are welcome to listen too. I just focus on Black women because I know how challenging it is in the workplace for Black women, period. And I know when you're transitioning to another job and having to deal with the same stuff, the microaggressions, all the looking over you, all the here, let me give you more work, but guess what? Pay's not going up. I know what that's like. So I encourage people, start a business. Start something that you do well. Right now, I want you to think, what is a problem that someone else has that you can solve? What is a problem that someone has that you can solve? If you start thinking that way, that's the start of thinking about starting a business. What if you are a good baker? Oh my gosh. My auntie, Aunt Josephine, who's passed on, her and my mama were best friends. Aunt Jo was the one who taught me how to make a homemade cake from scratch, because I was in college in Greensboro, North Carolina, had a craving for something sweet. And I was talking to my Aunt Jo, and she said, well, baby, do you have some flour? I was in the kitchen. I said, let me check Aunt Jo. I said, yeah. She said, do you have some butter? I said, well, no, I got some margarine. Because see, back then, you got to remember, I'm like 19 years old, 20 years old. I wasn't buying butter. I was buying margarine, whatever was the least expensive. So she said, okay, you can use your margarine. She said, you got some eggs? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you got some milk? I said, yeah, there's some milk in there. She said, okay. She said, do you have any flavoring? And I don't think I had any extract. You know, that's what she was talking about. And I think I had some Jell-O pudding in the box, if I remember. And I believe I had lemon. So she said, you can put that in. So she told me what to do with that simple recipe, all the stuff I had. Y'all, I made me a cake from scratch, put it in my daggone rectangular pan. My roommate came home. Yes, cuz Aunt Jo. My roommate came home, which is my best friend since 4 years old. She came home and Maria said, you been baking? I said, yes. Honey, if we didn't enjoy that daggone cake, I didn't even frost it because I didn't have any frosting. And I didn't have any cocoa to make chocolate frosting. And I was like, Aunt Jo, it's fine. This is fine because I actually rather have cake without frosting. So, needless to say, I baked that cake. Now, why did I tell you that story? I'm going to need y'all to laugh with me for a moment. Because if you are perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, you're going to appreciate this. I told you that story, and in my head, it's like, Dina, why'd you tell them the story about Aunt Jo teaching you how to bake that cake? Don't remember. So my train of thought left. It'll come back, okay? Anyhow, so from that, so that's what it was. I'm telling you, some of you may be great bakers. That's what I wanted to say. Let me drink some of my mushroom coffee, okay? Some of you may be great bakers, and you could start an actual at-home bakery. There are thousands of people that do it in the United States, and your state laws usually govern it. They're called cottage laws, C-O-T-T-A-G-E, cottage laws. So you could literally start a baking business. You could bake cupcakes. You could bake cookies. Oh my gosh, people love cookies. You know how much you could sell cookies for? And you're making them from scratch out of your home. There's a young lady on social media who I follow, and young black lady, I can't even remember what state she's in, I think Texas, but she bakes cinnamon rolls from her home, from her apartment, and not a few cinnamon rolls. She has a viable business. I think it was a couple of weekends ago, she baked 400 cinnamon rolls from her kitchen in her apartment with her regular oven and stove in the apartment. She baked 400 cinnamon rolls to go for a market, sold out. Her pre-orders, that was some pre-orders in there. Do you understand? People love homemade goods, baked goods. So those of you who are good bakers, you could start a baking business for what, $100 or less? Probably less, because you probably have some of the stuff in there that could at least get you baking your first cookies and selling, and then you can reinvest that money back into the business. Oh my gosh. So baking. What if you are a good cook? For those of you who, baby, when you cook, people are like, oh my gosh, and they want the recipe, or they're like, hey, can you make that for me? They want your corn pudding. They want your fried chicken, or they want your whatever. and you know you are a good cook, what about being a private chef? What if you started a business that say, hey, I don't want to do big jobs, but I like being a private chef, and I do orders and take pre-orders from people, and you cook and prepare their meals. You know, people want ease. So if you can package and around their nutrition needs, package together the food and deliver to them, or set up a pickup and they come and pick up their meals. There are businesses, brick and mortar businesses that do this. So you could do it as a private chef. What about a consultant? Whatever work you're doing right now, think about it. There are other people who need help in that space. So if you work in business and you have been in business administration, or you've been in leadership, or you're in the C-suite of a company, how wonderful it would be if you could literally say, I started an executive consulting business or an executive coaching business where I work with other leaders in corporate America and I coach them. What about those of you who are great teachers? Oh, there's some of you, baby, you can teach so well, and people just walk away with, oh, I get it. I get what she or he was saying. What if that's you? You could do training. You could actually design your own courses, and AI can help you with that. There are so many things that people can do that you can start as a side hustle while you are still working on a job. So when that job is not there, or when you decide you are ready to move on, or when God has closed that door, you already have something that is valuable that you can literally put your time in, put your energy in. You can do so many great things. And oftentimes we have been conditioned to believe the only way to generate income in the United States is to have a job. Now, why is that? Guess what? Because these companies need us to keep that mindset. If we change our mindset, they won't have workers, and they want us to come work. So what they do, they give us benefits, not the greatest, but they give you benefits that you go, okay. They give you pay, not the pay that you deserve, but it keeps you coming to that job and working 40, 50, 60 plus hours, especially those of you who are salary employees like I was. Honey, anything over 40 hours is not overtime. So oftentimes salary employees work 50 to 60 hours. For what? You get no more pay. All you've done is spent more time away from your family, spent more time not resting, and that's what leads to burnout. So think about it. While you are working, what could you do? Y'all, those of you who are listening, if you're listening, can you put some hearts out there? I need to feel the love, okay? As much as Coach D loves to talk me, I love the love. So could you press your heart buttons out there? Come on. Give me some stars. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. Share. The post, though, for my LinkedIn blog, or excuse me, the blog that I posted to LinkedIn, I'll post it to Facebook here in a little bit once I'm off of this and everything. But take a look. Read the blog. Go to my website, dinalangford.biz. Check it out. Share my website with others. I'm in a place in my life, and I realize this, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So I have a business, and I enjoy my business. I am damn good at my business. I need more clients, which means I need more of you to share about me. I need you to share my website. I need you to tell others that, hey, do you know what? You saying you need your resume looked at? She offers a service. And that's something that I am actually offering a flash sale on, is my resume rewrite and LinkedIn optimization. So that I'm running a special on. on the gold package. If you want more information on the gold package, just comment gold. Feel free to go to my website. Also, check out my posts that I have put out on LinkedIn about it. But if you comment or direct message me and say gold, I'll know what you're talking about, and I'll send you further information on it. Okay, so we got a lot of people who are looking for work that are skilled, that have the talent, the ability, who have the experience, and yet their resumes are not getting before people. So those of you, if you're in that boat, let's talk about a business you can start. And before you say, oh my gosh, Dina, I'm unemployed, I don't have money to start a business, let me pause you. Every business, let me put it this way, there are businesses you can start with little to no money. Talk to me. Let me help you come up with some ideas, okay, that you can do, that you can begin to get your first clients. Business is no scarier than working for someone. And I'm saying that because I've done both now. Working for someone is not guaranteed. And if you've ever been laid off because a company had cuts, not because of your performance, but because the company's bottom line said they got to lay off some people, and you happen to be one of the ones. I've been there. That's happened to me before. And you find yourself like, well, I thought I was going to stay with this company a lot longer. And now you don't have a job. What do? So, and hold up, let me say this too. To those of you who are solo, like myself, meaning you don't have a partner, you doing this on your own, there is nobody else's income coming in, so you can't go home and say, baby, how are we going to do this because I lost my job? There is no one. You're it. And so I understand how that feels, what that feels like. And if you need some encouragement from another solo sister out here, you can direct message me, baby, or put a comment, and I am happy to collaborate, or not to connect. That's the word I want to say. I would love to connect on social media and to encourage one another. People, our ancestors had businesses. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. After slavery in the United States ended and our ancestors were freed, jobs weren't coming. They weren't able to walk to that business and say, hey, can I get a job? And now they're not living on the plantation and being supported that way. Although some did stay and work on those plantations, the sharecroppers, that's a whole nother story. Many didn't and found themselves, well, what do I do? So they had to start businesses. There were women who started doing laundry, and they were the ones washing the clothes, going to get white people's clothes. And I'm saying this because you have to understand the time that I'm talking about. And they were going to do the laundry. Let me wash your clothes because it was being washed by hand. Let me iron, dry them and iron them, and then bring them back to you. There were people who were housekeeping, cleaning. We know our ancestors did that traditionally, as that is a business. Okay, this is someone who is self-employed, had to go find their business, meaning whose house am I going to clean that's going to pay me? Whose house am I going to get the laundry that's going to pay me? Who am I cooking for that's going to pay me for my cakes and pies or whatever I'm cooking? Who am I cutting down trees on their property for? These are businesses. So historically, our people thrived in businesses because there was a time in history where that's all it was available. Because our people, black people looking like you and me, could not get hired. So you had to create a means for income. We have it in us. It is in the fiber of our being. So all you got to do is tap in on it. Because what happened is we ended up getting conditioned after the Industrial Revolution, because now factories are open and they need more and more workers. So they finally opened their doors to black workers in the United States, because guess what? We can't be at war, World War II, and, we need workers. So guess what? We got to hire the black women, the black men that, could not get those jobs at one time. And so then we got conditioned to getting a job, because you get a job, you get a regular paycheck, you know what you're going to be paid per hour. You might have some benefits. We got used to that. And then over the years, it got a little better for black people in the United States. So our mindset then was, you need to get a good job. Well, first go to school, graduate, get a degree, or pick up a trade, and go work for someone else, stay there 20, 30, 40 years, retire, and trust that they're going to pay you a pension. Do y'all see my face right now? So we got conditioned to put our faith in man, in a company, in the men running the company, in the men and women running the company. We got conditioned to put our faith in a company that at any given moment could say, we no longer need you. We went from being business owners that owned our time, owned what we would charge, therefore we could control our income, to being productive employees. Notice I said productive, because what did the company hire? Why did they hire you? They hired you for your production. They want to know you can produce. And when you produce, they want to pull and suck, it seems like, the fiber out of your being of production, where then you have no energy for anything else. Now think about it. Is that the way to live? Is that an improvement? No. So I am saying to anyone that's listening out there, when God closes a door, build a business, and again, the reason I am emphasizing that is because you building a business gives you control in your life. It puts back time that you have given to companies that you can't get back. It gives you the opportunity to experience different. And baby, different feels good. Now notice I didn't use the word easy in any of this conversation, because it's not easy. Yet I would ask you, is it easy to keep getting up and going to a job every day that doesn't appreciate you really? Is it easy to get up and go to a job where you have to sit in meetings and listen to microaggressions and just smile and take it so that you can still have that job? Is it easy to show up and work 50, 60 hours a week and not be able to spend time with your loved ones, or to take and just spend time with yourself and to breathe and just be present? Is it easy to every day feel the stress in your body because of the job? Headaches, tummy aches, gastrointestinal problems, mental health, having to take medicine for anxiety and depression. Because let me be honest, many are sad and have the blues because of their jobs, because of the stress in those jobs and the people at those workplaces. So let me press upon you. Don't be afraid to explore what it could be. What could possibly be if you were to build a business. You have built for someone else's business. Why not do it for yourself? Let me think. What else did I want to share with you? I hope I encourage someone. I know I've been talking for a moment. I would ask those of you who are watching or who have a chance to watch later, share this with your network. Share my website with your network, dinalangford.biz, B-I-Z. Go to my LinkedIn profile. Any of my social media, I'm Dina Langford on. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, all of them. Lemonade. Goodness gracious, there's so much social media. Dina Langford. So go out there, sharing your network. Share about what I do. Because yes, I am looking for new clients. Looking for people I can work with who are career focused, and you want to revamp that resume, that CV. You want to update your professional profiles, how you're looking out on social media. Reach out, DM me. Those of you who are like, hey, could a business be something I could start while you're working and have a job? Let's talk. Or if you're unemployed and you're trying to figure out what's next, let's talk. I do a complimentary 30-minute discovery call for anyone who just wants to talk. And then we look and see how I can help you. I may be a great resource, or I may not be. You may be a great potential client, or you may not be. So we can talk though. So make sure you DM me, meaning, go out here on Facebook and message me. Feel free through any social media to message me, and I'll reach out to you and we'll schedule something. You all stay encouraged, okay? Don't let the things of life beat you up to the point where you no longer want to live this life. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about just the many who opt for suicide. I'm talking about people who also shut down and they become so isolated because of all the many things going on in life. And so their way to deal with it is to isolate. And that's not good. We were created to be relational creatures. Doesn't mean you have to be married. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about relationship. So we need a community that surrounds us. We need to be part of a village, is what I'm saying. So even as a solo person, you need to find your village as well. And I think with that today, I think I'm going to close out on this. I want to tell you, know and trust. Your faith will bring a difference. You can manifest the life that you want with the right support. Reach out to your friends, your closest friends, your tribe. Let them know what you need so they can help you, so they can be prayerful, that they can encourage. And if you can't get that in your tribe, then I want you to reach out to me, Coach D, and let me share some positivity with you. That's part of my life purpose. That's part of what I was built for, made for. It's not easy being positive. And no, I am not feeling positive all the time. That would be absolutely impossible. I live in this world, and this world has a lot of things, arrows that come to me that are not positive. So yes, negativity hits me. I get the blues. I get in a funk. And most of the time, the only people that ever know is my tribe, my close tribe. And my tribe is small, y'all. Look at these 5 fingers. This is about the extent of my tribe. And not that there aren't other people in the community, but you have got to be so particular with who you share your life with. And I have learned through experience, if you don't support me, and meaning show up, encourage, check on me, if you don't get as excited or more excited when I share my news, when I share what I'm doing, if you don't ever reciprocate by sharing my stuff on social media like I share others, or you don't tell anyone about me, that's okay. That's you. That's why you are particular. You have to be who's your A team, the people on your A team, the people who know you and what's going on with you. All right, beautiful souls. Coach D has said a lot today because I hadn't been on here in a minute. I'm actually thinking I'm going to make the effort to do every day this week because I've gotten away from doing this this year. And so I want to get back to it. Remember, I'm here and I offer fabulous service, baby. And trust and believe you're going to get excellent service with me, because that's how I was raised by my wonderful mama, Mary, and my wonderful daddy, Gerald. So, I love you all. Hello, classmate. I see you, Glenda. Hello, my Uncle Kirby. Yes. Oh, my gosh. See you. And cuz, I see you out there. Listen, love you all. Beautiful souls. Take care. And please remember, there are resources out there. You do not have to go through this alone. Whatever it is right now in your career or in the in-between, because you find yourself unemployed, what's next? Let's talk. All right, I send my love. I'm sending you hugs. Remember, Coach D gives good hugs, baby. And wonderful kisses. Love you all. And until we come together again, you all take care. And remember, you have the power to make it a great day. So why don't you go out there and do that? Till we meet again. Later.